bumped it. Alright, we're just gonna wait for that clock to go off before we start. It's weird to actually film 2 videos back to back like this. I don't think I've ever done it before. And so I wonder if anyone's gonna notice that I'm wearing the exact same clothes between the Legends and Ahsoka review. 1! Yay! Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, and today we're getting back to book reviews, actually. Because today we're going to review the book Star Wars Ahsoka. This is about Ahsoka Tano, the former apprentice of Anakin Skywalker, and it's really interesting. Let's just get right into that. It's about 1 year after the events of Revenge of the Sith, about a year after the Empire is formed. And Ahsoka is just on her own now. There's no one for her to fall back on. She doesn't know where Anakin is. She thinks Anakin is dead. Doesn't know where Obi-Wan is. Pretty much all the Jedi are dead. There's really no one left. Palpatine has taken power. And she's just kind of alone. And she goes to the Outer Rim and ends up finding this moon called Rada, where all these farmers are, and she just kind of lays low, you know, just kind of takes the job of mechanic. But through a series of events, not unfortunate though, through a series of events, she kind of comes out of hiding and has to save the people of Rada from the Empire. So, it's been a little while since I've done a book review. I don't know. Plus, this is the first novel review I've done. Normally I do graphic novels, but this is a novel. And okay, let's see what I can talk about here. First of all, it's pretty good, and Ahsoka herself still feels the same. She's still the same Ahsoka, but she's just going through like a case of depression, really, with everything that's happened to the Jedi and all of her friends and stuff. She does still seem like Ahsoka from the Clone Wars. You know, I don't really know how to describe that, but it's still her. I don't know how else I can say that. The other characters are okay. I didn't really like the people on Rada. I didn't really think were great. Really, they weren't really given much to do except be saved by Ahsoka. But I thought they were okay. Nothing bad, nothing really great. They were good. They served their purpose. In this, it's interesting to see. It's kind of interesting to see Ahsoka deal with this, because it's different than what she's used to. You know, the Clone Wars, it was war. She was a general. She was going through with, you know, clone armies and her master, and, you know, just going through and just taking care of battles and stuff like that. This time, she's all on her own. No clones, no Anakin, no nothing. No lightsabers, actually. She doesn't have those anymore. And she doesn't get new ones until towards the end. Kind of spoilers, but well, on the cover of the book, she's holding 2 lightsabers. So yeah, it's interesting to see, because you definitely see her. It's a book, whatever. You definitely see that she has to really weigh her options on what she can do. There are some people she'd love to help, but she can't really risk it. There are some people that, I don't know. It's interesting because, I keep saying it's interesting, it's hard to express a reason why it's interesting. But you can really see all the training that Anakin gave her, you know, coming out. You know, all of her skills as a mechanic, as a Jedi, using the Force, all that stuff. You can really see her calculate every single thing in her head. Like, what would happen if she did this? Should she use the Force? Should she not use the Force? What would be the repercussions of this, like the consequences? And it's really interesting to see all that, especially when dealing with some of these farmers, because the farmers they start like a mini rebellion against the Empire. They basically fight back the Empire from pretty much enslaving them. Not exactly enslaving them, but now they work for the Empire. You know, the Empire comes in, they have to grow stuff for them. And so they kind of have like a small rebellion against them just on this moon. And so it's kind of interesting to see Ahsoka dealing with them because they're very impatient. You know, they just want to go attack the Empire now and see what happens. And Ahsoka's like, no, we can't just go in, you know, guns a-blazing. We need to stop, we need to slow down, we need to come up with a very elaborate plan so that we know, like, pretty much step by step what we're doing and being sure that everything we do is effective, everything will work, and no one's, you know, minimal casualties. And so it's interesting to see Ahsoka deal with that, especially because she's still young. I think she's 16 in this book, maybe a little older, but she's still very young because she was young in the Clone Wars, too. So it's interesting to see how, even though, despite how young she is, she's still a war veteran and trying to solve this problem while also working with these very impatient farmers and dealing with the Empire and eventually dealing with an Inquisitor. If you've seen Star Wars Rebels, you know what the Inquisitors are. They basically hunt Jedi. And eventually an Inquisitor does come, about like halfway through the book, I believe. They start mentioning this Inquisitor, and now she has to deal with him and not having lightsabers. And basically, yeah. So it's just interesting to see how she's handling the situation. There's actually not a whole lot other than that. It's mostly focused on, the book is mostly on Rada. They leave Rada a couple times, but for the most part, they stay there and deal with this rebellion against the Empire. And that leads Ahsoka to think, okay, you know, I helped this one rebellion, should I help other rebellions? You know, should I help Bail Organa, who is basically running a rebellion against the Empire? Should I help him? Should I not? Should I be secluded, or should I try to, you know, really fight the Empire and the Sith? And so it's interesting to see, and if you've seen Star Wars Rebels like I have, you kind of know what she's going to do, but it's still interesting to see kind of her thought process in how she gets to that point. And yeah, that's kind of it, actually. This is probably going to be a short video. The only other thing I can talk about is there's actually like small things in this book, these kind of gray pages basically, where it'll say a little bit of another story. Sometimes it's from the Clone Wars, sometimes it's from the present, and they're all pretty good, and they still kind of give a little more insight on what's happening with the rebellion, what's happening with Ahsoka, what she's thinking about, and stuff like that. And actually, because of this, these little like insert chapters, the end of the book is actually one of these chapters, and it's basically just a short epilogue. And I kind of think of it like it's kind of the after credits scene of the book, if that makes any sense. Like, the main story is over, but now we have this little scene here, basically, after everything's done, of just kind of not really setting up things, but just kind of ending things, I suppose, if that makes any sense. So yeah, pretty fast review here, but it was pretty good. I would recommend picking it up and reading it. It was really good. Yeah. that's pretty much all I can say about it. Really good. End cards are going to pop up right now. You can click on those. You don't have to, though. You can follow 7th Hour Films on Twitter. Me and 7th Hour Films. I run the Twitter. Just all Twitter, yeah. At 7th Hour Films. That's pretty much it. I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.